Look like a girl.
I think she thinks that I'm a girl.
I think you look like a girl. I think you are a girl.
That's a baby, remember? That's pictures?
That's true. When you were an infant, to you, you look like a girl. As a parent, you want your child to be happy. You want them to be as happy as they can. And we could clearly see that Thomas was a very sad boy. We've come to find out that if you give your child the opportunity to be who they are, they know very well who they are.
Try to remember back when you were a kid, when you were 3 years old, 4 years old. Who were you? Were you a boy because you looked like a boy? Or were you a boy because that's who you felt like you were?
There's no age where you're too young to know your gender because it comes from within. We're at the Gender Spectrum Family Conference, and we've spent 3 days with families talking about all aspects of gender and transgender children.
When I was like little, when I used to have long hair, I never wanted like pink beads or purple beads or anything. I never liked being called she.
I thought my baby was a tomboy, but it turned out to be, he's actually a boy. And no matter what, I still love him, and I'm always going to love my baby.
We do have MRI evidence, brain scan evidence to show that a child who is born in a male body, for all purposes is a boy, but actually feels herself to be a girl, has the brain structure and of a girl.
The MRI test specifically is not helpful in making a decision whether you're a male or a female when you're a child. The child's opinion about what they want to do in life, the child's feeling about what gender they are, you need to work with the child and the family to figure out what should be done with this child.
When we adopted Tammy at 2, she had very, very, very little language because of developmental delays.
In elementary school, it was actually kindergarten that she went to, and it was a center for infant deaf, and she was taught more sign language, and we were taught more sign language. We actually went to school also there to learn sign language, and so we'd understand what she was saying. Say, Tammy, that's Tammy.
Oh, oh.
Yeah. So what we've done for Tammy is to put her on hormone blockers. It's only been about a month, and when she's ready, she'll be able to decide which way she's going to go through puberty. She will have either female hormones, or she'll stop the hormone blockers and become a man.
And that's what the blocker does, is buys her time to mature, and time for us to kind of catch up with her, because she's running this fast.
You make the decision on when to start hormone blockers based on the puberty of the child. Very few boys undergo puberty at age 11. Most start at age 12, 13, 14. And once they begin puberty, then you decide to start hormone blockers.
8th grade was kind of the awkwardest moments because I started a new school and didn't nobody know who I really am.
When you talk about that, when you say that people know me for me, you are you. What's the matter?
So I know parents whose children told them at the age of 3 or 4 or 5 or 8, whatever the age was, and if the parents weren't able to support their child in that gender, the common scenario is that that child disappears.
Things that I would do to my son, that I was doing to my son because of, people in our family. It was just to the fact that where, they were all rejecting him, and that's my baby. So it's like me, by me being the person I am, I was torn. I was in the middle, but I was torn between the two, If I can get a message out there to all the parents who have kids that are transgender, either from male to female or from female to male, I advise you to love your kids and to try to understand them, be on their side, because it's hard fighting that battle alone.
Tammy leads the way.
Yeah, she's the one we listen to.
We have to allow Tammy to lead the way because we're not transgender. And I don't necessarily think we completely understand it.
Government now giving sex change drugs to children as young as 10. Children as young as 10 years old are being given powerful hormone injections to aid them in their transition between sexes. By Matt Agarist, July 31, 2017. There is a complex set of factors for determining if a person is transgender. While science hasn't nailed down the exact physiological and neurological markers to determine what makes a person have gender distress, there is no doubt that it exists. If individuals identify with a different gender than they were born, it is no one's right to prevent them from remedying it. That being said, should young children who feel they may be in gender distress be given sex change drugs by the government? Regardless of how you feel in regard to the question above, the fact is that it is happening. More than 800 children in the United Kingdom, some as young as 10, are now being given these controversial sex change drugs. Britain's National Health Service is prescribing children powerful hormone injections which halt the development of sex organs, breasts, and body hair. These drugs are meant to keep children in a prepubescent state so they can be easier to operate on when they become adults. It is safe to assume that children can know that they identify with a different sex than they were born. However, it is also safe to assume that some children may be mistaking these feelings for something else and could change their minds several times before becoming a physical adult. Advertisement. The Daily Mail reported on a transgender girl who says that had she not been given these hormone injections, she would have killed herself. Teenager LLYR Jones has been taking puberty-blocking drugs for the past 6 months. The 17-year-old told how she was desperate to be prescribed the injections to end the agony she was going through as her body began to change into that of an adult man. LLYR, from Aberystwyth in mid-Wales, said if the physical transformations that came with puberty had been allowed to continue, she would have been pushed to take her own life. In all honesty, if I hadn't been allowed to be on the blockers and start my transition, I'm sure I wouldn't be here now, she said. Jones was in gender distress and these drugs could have very well saved her life. However, she is almost twice as old as some of the other children being given these same drugs. Read more. Video shows how British police react to a teen with a toy gun, putting US cops to shame. As the Mail reports, more than 600 young people are undergoing treatment at the Gender Identity Development Service clinic at University College Hospital in London, and a further 200 at a clinic in Leeds. The Mos has been told that 230 of those 800 are under the age of 14. For some reason, in 2014, the government removed the age limit for hormone therapy, which was 16. Now, doctors can give these drugs to 3rd and 4th graders and have even considered its use in children as young as 9. In Britain, the government thinks people aren't smart enough to make their own decisions on many fronts. For example, they think people should have to wait until they are 18 before they can drink or smoke. However, that same government will give children life-changing medication if they claim to identify with a different gender. As Professor of Psychiatry Paul McHugh writes, "We frequently hear from neuroscientists that the adolescent brain is too immature to make reliably rational decisions. But we are supposed to expect emotionally troubled adolescents to make decisions about their gender identities and about serious medical treatments at the age of 12 or younger." As the Mail notes, Mary Douglas, a spokeswoman for Grassroots Conservatives campaign group, said, "Adolescence is the age when you're in a turmoil because you're trying to work out who you are, and gender is a big part of that. So to introduce such powerful medication into that is unwise. This drastic notion that we should change our gender should be a last resort. Caution needs to be the watchword for everyone engaged in this, including doctors. Read more. Global elite makes good on threats to make all of you poorer after Britain independence. These kids are not old enough to make life-changing decisions that will affect them for the rest of their lives. It's unethical to pursue this line of treatment with children who cannot possibly understand what they're doing. Stephanie Davies-Aray, of Transgender Trend, a parent group concerned about the rise of children identifying as the opposite sex, said. However, Professor Gary Butler, the lead clinician for the Gender Identity Service in London and Leeds, disagrees. He says that these drugs can help transgender children who may have distress from puberty. But puberty itself, even for non-transgenders, is distressing. Some of these children may be misguided and not be transgender at all, but they are given these powerful drugs anyway. Also, as McHugh points out, most children who identify as the opposite sex will eventually come to identify as their biological sex. Until much more is known about gender dysphoria, and until controlled clinical trials of puberty suppression are carried out, this intervention should be considered experimental. Regardless of the good intentions of the physicians and parents, to expose young people to such treatments is to endanger them.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal, and there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that's that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran in, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran in, no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.